crafters, it's Chris from Crafts with Chris, and thanks for stopping by my channel today. If you are new here, I do offer crafting tutorials, mostly using Stampin' Up! Products, and I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell so you do get notifications of my most current uploads. So, we're going to make that gorgeous card today. Don't you just love that card? I actually have everything prepped and cut out. I'm making a whole bunch of them. I am in a Christmas swap, so I needed a bunch, but I had to do a video on this card because I love the way it turned out. So I'm going to go through all the products that you're going to need today. We're going to start off with our cardstock. So you're going to need a piece of Pretty Peacock. This is cut A2 size, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, fold at 4 1/4. You're also going to need 2 scrap pieces of Pretty Peacock to cut out Joy and Peace, and I'll show you those dies in a moment. So you also will need a piece of scrap silver foil paper to cut out Joy and Peace. Also will need a piece of Whisper White. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. Also will need a piece of Whisper White. This is cut out of the largest stitched shape rectangle die. This approximately measures 5 1/4 by 4. It's a little under both of those. Also will need another piece of Whisper White. This is measured 4 3/4 by 1/2 inch. We're using 2 different kinds of designer series paper today. This comes out of the Heartwarming Hugs. This actually is on sale. So this is the Heartwarming Hugs DSP that you would receive. You get a 12 pack, so you get 2 designs each. So this is one side. And this is the paper we're going to use today. And here's the back side. This is awesome Christmas paper to use. So we're going to use that. And again, it is on sale. You also will need 3 trees cut out. I cut these out with the stitched triangle dies. And I use the 'Tis the Season designer series paper. That also is on sale. So let me show you that. So this is the 'Tis the Season designer series paper. You get 48 sheets. It's 6 by 6. There are 12 different designs on one side, 12 on the other side, and you get 4 each of these designs. So this is one side. This is the other side of that paper. So again, this paper is on sale. So both the Heartwarming Hugs and 'Tis the Season paper is on sale through October 31st, 2020. For the dies today, you will need the Joy dies. This has Peace, Joy, and Bright on here, and it has 3 different shapes that you can cut out. So this would be the finest cutout. So we're using the finest and we're using the middle cutout. We're not using this one today. So you're just going to need the Peace and Joy out of here. So these are the stitched triangle dies. We will be using these today. So in this set, there's 3 different shapes of triangles. I used the taller, skinnier ones. So I used the 3rd smallest, the 4th smallest, and the 5th smallest out of these dies to cut out them trees. The last die I used was the largest one here out of the stitched shape rectangle dies. For the stamp set today, you will need tree angle, and the only thing I used out of here was Happy Wishes to You and Yours and the little ornaments here. Our ink today, we will only be using Versamark. So I'm bringing in that little strip of Whisper White and the Versamark ink, and in this stamp set, like I said, we're going to use the little ornaments, so I'm going to stamp those out first. So I'm bringing in my Emboss Buddy. I know Stampin' Up! No longer carries this, but you can find these on Amazon or craft stores. So I'm just going to stamp these on the edge of this paper here, and they will go off the paper a little bit, but that's okay. I just made sure my ornament part was mostly on the Whisper White. So now I'm going to bring in this Happy Wishes to You and Yours, and I'm going to put this on my block, but because it's a longer, smaller stamp, it could potentially bend. So what I like to do is just lay this on your surface and then pick it up with the block. So it'll go on your block straight. So then I'm just going to ink this up with the Versamark ink. and you can see where your ornaments are. So what you want to do is just stamp next to the ornaments, right in the middle. So I have a scrap piece of paper underneath. I know that's so hard to see, but I'm just going to take some silver emboss powder and just sprinkle that over the top so we can see that. Now I want to try to keep my fingers off of here. And I know it's a tiny piece, so I'm going to just pick it up with my tweezers, get most of that embossing powder off, and you can go ahead and tap it. And I do have some spots here that I need some more, so just go ahead and make sure you get it all the embossing powder off. So once this is embossed, I thought the camera was rolling. You're going to take your banner's Pick-a-Punch. You're going to use the flagged end. Just push it all the way back, and then you can give that a nice little flag at the end of that. So that's it to our stamping. We are done stamping. So now we're just going to start assembling everything. So what I did for the Joy and Peace, the thin Joy and Peace, I went ahead and layered my pretty peacock with the adhesive sheets. And this is great because you put this on and it has a sticker that you peel off when you're ready to apply it to your cards. So it makes life a lot easier when you have these thin little cutouts like this. Bringing in the Peace and Joy, and we're going to glue the small thin Peace and Joy to the bigger one, and you just pull the sticker sheet right off. And as you can see, these little the O still has the things in there, but once I peel this off, that comes right off with it. So you just peel this off. Like I said, it makes life so much easier. And then you just want to go ahead and stick this right on your silver Joy. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the piece. You can use your Take-a-Pick tool if you don't have fingernails. But once you get it, then it's pretty easy to come right off. So this one made a layer out of me. Those little middles did not come out, but you can pop them right out. That's why I love this Take-a-Pick tool. It comes in handy for multiple uses. So then we're just going to apply this to the silver piece. And before I press it down, I just kind of line it up first. And then once it's where it needs to be, then I'll give it a good press. So we'll set those aside. Let's go ahead and bring in our card base. We're going to give that a good crease. I'm going to bring in that stitched shape rectangle. That's going to go right on top. I'm just using the Stampin' Seal. Just make sure you're applying the stitching the right side up. So then you're just going to apply that. It gives that a nice little border. Then you're going to bring in this piece of designer series paper that we cut, this strip, and we're going to give that some Stampin' Seal. And then this I'm going to apply down towards the bottom. But what I'm going to do is take my Joy first, because I want my Joy to go right down here. So I will apply this right above the Joy. So about 3/4 of the way down, just like that. And then we're gonna build our trees on here. So we have our 3 trees. So again, there's 2 sides to these, but you wanna make sure your stitching side is facing up. So I'm gonna take the middle size one and put that over here. I'm gonna take the larger one, kind of line that up here, and then my middle one, or my smallest one, will go kind of right on top. So just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the liquid mono adhesive, because those tips there, I want to make sure they stay glued down, and it's hard to get your Stampin' Seal on there. So I'm just going to make sure I apply some there, and then just use the liquid glue. And what's nice about the liquid glue is you have a little bit of time to play with it before it seals down. So if you put them on crooked, you can fix that. So I'm just going to pick these up with my tweezers, and I'm going to apply the medium-sized tree first. Then I'm going to take the larger tree and I'm going to apply that next. Again, I want to just make sure that tip of that tree presses down. Then your smaller tree will go right next door. Just like that. And then again, oh, see, that one's a little crooked, but I have time to straighten it out. So just make sure those tips are down. And I love how that looks just the way it is, but we're not quite finished. So with this, you're going to want to use some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals on this, and we're going to pop this right over those trees. So I put a whole bunch of dimensionals on here. I love to use a lot because it pops them up. And they're only $4 for 300. And with my discount, I actually only pay $3 for them. So, like I said, I like to use them because when you put them in the mail, if you don't use a lot, it'll sag down. So you just apply this to the front, just like that. And then with the Peace and Joy, I'm going to go ahead and use that liquid adhesive again on the Peace and Joy. And the piece is going to go right here in the front. And then your Joy will just go down here below. So, and then we're going to use a piece of Whisper White on the inside to finish that off. And then one last final touch. These trees needed some kind of stars. So I took the champagne rhinestones and I'm just going to go ahead and pop these on here. You can use whichever size. I think I'll use the small on the small tree, the medium size on the medium tree, and then the larger one on the large tree. So that's it to that card. Isn't that card super cute? So I am mass producing these cards. So just a tip when you guys mass produce cards, what you want to do is get everything cut, everything prepared, and then start your process. It's much more time consuming if you make them individually, where if you just get everything prepped, everything ready, and then just start making them, you'll save yourself a whole bunch of time doing it that way. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe below and don't forget to ring that bell. I also offer a newsletter that I would love for you to sign up for. You will get 30 free card ideas just for signing up. Thanks for watching.